In a quiet rural village nestled between green hills and flowing rivers, life had remained the same for generations. The villagers lived simply, working in the fields, raising livestock, and relying on tradition to guide their days. Education was a distant dream. Most families believed learning belonged only to cities. But then came a teacher named Mr. Rahim, a man whose heart carried both knowledge and compassion. He arrived with nothing more than a small suitcase and a burning belief that education could transform lives. The villagers watched curiously as he cleaned out an abandoned barn and converted it into a makeshift classroom. With no desks, he arranged wooden planks and mats. With no chalkboard, he painted one wall black. The children, barefoot and shy, gathered with hesitant smiles. For the first time, the echo of laughter and curiosity filled that forgotten barn. Rahim taught them letters, numbers, and stories about the world beyond the village. He didn't just teach from books, he taught from life. He showed them how to measure crops, write their names, and read simple signs. Slowly, the villagers began to notice a change in their children. Their eyes sparkled with questions, their conversations filled with ideas, and their confidence grew like the crops in the fields. What began as a single classroom lit a fire of curiosity that would soon spread through the entire community. The teacher had planted the seed of transformation, and it was only the beginning of a story that would reshape the destiny of the whole village. As months passed, the classroom grew crowded. Children who once helped their parents in the fields came rushing each morning, eager to learn. Rahim worked tirelessly, often teaching with just one book to share among dozens of students. When chalk ran out, he carved lessons in the dirt. When rain poured through the barn roof, he continued under a tree. His passion was unstoppable. But the true change was not only in the children. Parents who had once doubted the value of education began sitting in the back of the classroom, listening quietly. Old farmers learned how to calculate fair prices for their crops. Mothers discovered the joy of reading bedtime stories to their children. The small classroom became a hub of learning for the entire village. Knowledge started breaking the chains of poverty. With literacy, villagers could understand contracts, demand fair wages, and even write letters to family members far away. Soon Mr. Rahim inspired the children to dream bigger, to imagine themselves as doctors, engineers, teachers, and leaders. His lessons were not limited to textbooks. He taught them values of kindness, respect, and cooperation. The village, once silent and resigned, now buzzed with ideas and ambition. Word spread to neighboring villages, and people began visiting to see the miracle of change brought by one man and his classroom. What started with one teacher and a handful of children was now blossoming into a movement of hope, proving that true education does not require wealth, but heart, vision, and dedication. Years later, the impact of that single classroom became undeniable. The children who once learned under a leaky barn roof grew into the first literate generation of the village. Some became doctors who returned to provide medical care, others became entrepreneurs who brought jobs and trade, and a few even became teachers who carried Mr. Rahim's mission to nearby villages. The village itself transformed. New schools were built, a small library opened, and even technology began to arrive as children introduced their families to new ways of living and working. Roads were repaired, small businesses flourished, and the community gained a voice in regional decisions because now they could read, write, and advocate for themselves. And at the heart of it all was Mr. Rahim, now older, with hair turned gray but spirit still bright. He often sat under the same tree where he once taught lessons in the rain, watching his former students walk by as leaders, professionals, and changemakers. He never sought recognition or wealth. His reward was the transformation of lives, and the knowledge that he had sparked a chain reaction that would ripple through generations. The villagers celebrated him not just as a teacher, but as the father of their future. His story became legend, told to children as proof that one person, armed with passion and belief, can change the destiny of many. The once forgotten village became a symbol of hope, and it all began with one teacher, one classroom, and a dream that knowledge could light even the darkest corners of the world.